Okay.
Motors.
Okay.
Tata Motors, if you look at the weekly time frame,
Mm-hmm.
it has broken out of this. Let me just remove all this. Okay. So Tata Motors broke out of this all-time high some time back
Okay.
in this area, and then it is kind of slowly going up.
Mm.
You can see, and on a daily time frame, it has been respecting this 20-day moving average.
Okay.
This is the 20-day moving average, and
Mm-hmm.
there is a trend line support from this gap. This is
Okay.
this is a
Okay.
breakaway gap over here. Generally, breakaway gaps nearby the resistance are very strong
Okay. Okay. I understand.
because it shows that it is not even willing to close the gap. It is constantly going up. It shows strength.
Okay.
So that is one thing. Second thing is
Mm.
that it is forming this channel basically and
Mm.
steadily going up. It's a good sign. Third thing that it is testing this 20-day moving average and respecting this trend line support. So I am
Okay.
expecting that, let's say that it comes and then start bouncing from this either this
Support. Mm.
20-day moving average support or the trend line support, and
Okay.
the moment it starts bouncing we can take a position because it shows that it is about to take a bounce from that point.
Okay.
So I would.
Even Tata Motors have been getting fundamentally stronger, right? Like past 2 to 3 years, we have been hearing that they are fully concentrating on EV to bring out complete structure to dominant the
Yeah, yeah,
auto
yeah.
industry.
So Tata
Mm.
Motors also has that advantage. It is anyway the
Oh,
sector leader. It is the number one in India in terms of every, if you say commercial vehicle, or
understood, man.
or you say
Understood.
even non-commercial vehicles, they are number one.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that, and at the same time, this support areas, I would say that
Mm-hmm.
I can make an entry the moment it start bouncing up from this area and makes a green candle.
Okay,
If
man.
let's say
Okay.
in the mid of the day around 12 p.m. or so or 1 p.m. or so, it is still in the
Okay.
upside, then I would take the entry.
Okay. Okay.
So
Sure.
that
Sure.
is
Sure.
this is a very good stock which I saw. Fundamentally, at the same time,
What is the nearest stop loss you can try to keep it
stop loss I would say just keep it just slightly below this trend line. That's
below
enough.
the trend line? Okay.
Because
Okay.
either way, if it breaks this thing, it is gonna
Mm-hmm.
take this to take you to this point at least. So it
Okay.
is better to keep a minimum stop loss, and then targets can be much higher. It's at an all-time high. So we can keep a
Sure.
trailing stop loss, or else this
Okay.
20-day moving average as a trailing stop loss. Either way,
Okay. Okay.
that
Mm-hmm.
can be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing which concerns me a bit about every single stock is that all stocks are pretty much in the overbought zones. You see,
Okay.
RSIs are always sitting at 70, even though that's not necessarily a bad sign, but
Okay.
it somehow doesn't, it just feels a
Mm.
little bit. Uh,
Understood. Understood, man.
uh,
Mm. See,
yeah,
like we said, all the stocks can't be at an what to say bull trend always, right? It needs some consolidation or it needs some breakdown to extra players to come in, because people might wait for a very long time to enter. Only if the stock comes down, only people might jump in. Like you said, if staying in overbought zone for a very long time is little dangerous because there will be less participant of smart
but
money there, right?
no, no, it's not necessarily that way because
Okay.
sometimes a stock can stay in the overbought zone for extremely long periods of time,
Oh,
and that
okay,
can be a
okay.
good sign also. Sometimes the stock comes and touches the 50 RSI and then bounce from that itself. That is also a very
Oh,
strong sign.
understood, man. Understood.
So like RSI, the thing is RSI should be used as a secondary tool to judge the market. It should not be used
True.
as a primary
True.
thing,
True.
and your
True.
entire investment decision should be based on that. I wouldn't say that because
Understood, man.
it also has, there are 2 3 ways to look at RSI. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
one one is like the very basic, the overbought and oversold zones. Second
Mm-hmm.
thing is that you need to get a little bit advanced and look at the other aspects of the RSI also. As I
Okay.
said, this stock has been in the overbought zone since a very long time. You see, from almost April till now, it is in the overbought zone only, and it is not willing to go down. That's actually a good sign.
Okay.
So that is what, like, a thing, even though
It
it is.
clearly shows that people might keep buying. even though if it is in a,
Yeah, if there
oh,
is
God's will.
strength, that is what RSI is basically relative strength index.
Okay.
It
Okay.
has different calculations also. However,
True.
the very basic thing that we can get uh, from this is that it is still strong. And just now I drew this trend line support over here from this previous,
Okay.
and it is trying to just test it out. Let's see if it bounces from this area, it will also bounce
Mm.
from this technically. So that is
Okay.
also a double confirmation. I would say that let's wait for the bounce from this. The moment it start
Sure.
bouncing off, we can take an entry. That is what uh,
True, man. True.
I can say. Okay, just so we just now saw this Tata Motors. Second stock which I was looking at is this Rosari Biotech.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a very good stock considering what it has been doing in the past some time. So first thing is that let's check out the weekly chart. In weekly chart, it has, I mean, broken out this channel or whatever you want to call it, and then taken a retest and started to go further up. Currently, it is
Okay.
facing this big resistance. It is a very long-term resistance over here. However,
Okay.
if you look at the daily chart and daily time frame, I see certain aspects which are very good in terms of breakouts. First thing is that
Okay.
it has broken out of this weekly time frame very well, 18 percentage upside in a single day.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Volumes have been enormous with the breakouts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Generally, when these kind of breakout happens, it shows that big guys have finally entered the stock,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. When volumes get really shoot up, right? We need to wait for another confirmation. Like you said, once the volume gets shoot up, at the same time, if the breakout is happening from one channel to another channel, probably we can say that the stock has changed the direction to upside or
Yeah.
downside. Probably.
Coming to that second part, first thing is the breakout. Second thing is you are seeing it's forming continuous higher highs and higher lows. Highs,
Okay. Okay.
higher low, and then finally this high. Now it is consolidating nearby this long-term resistance.
Oh.
You see, it has been ranging in this 4 to 5 percentage, whatever, 1 to 2 percentage, not even 4 to 5, just
Okay.
between this 830 to 865, whatever it is ranging for
Forming a
almost,
zone, something like that.
yeah, for almost 2 weeks.
Okay.
It has been ranging in this such a tight zone, respecting the 20-day moving average at the same time, and as it has been going up now, the volumes of the green side has been increasing continuously. You see,
Okay.
over
Okay.
here also it increased, and now here
Understood.
again, and
Mhm.
finally it is now consolidating nearby the resistance. So
Okay.
what I feel, I mean, considering what I've seen in the stock is that, let's say it breaks out of this,
Mhm.
then it will be a very good breakout. It would be a very good confirmation.
Understood.
An ideal entry would be when it starts breaking out,
Mhm.
and let's say you have to look out for the intraday volumes also. If intraday the
Okay.
volumes have been rising and the breakout has happened, then
Okay.
there can be a very sudden upside move that we can see in this stock,
Understood. Man.
because the
Understood.
consolidation has happened for a long time now.
Mhm.
So it would be advisable, like, we'll wait for the breakout. The moment it
Okay.
starts breaking out, at that time we need to look out for the volumes. If the volumes are picked in, then we have to
Okay.
make an instant entry, because otherwise the stock will shoot up very fast.
Very high, probably before even we enter, right?
Exactly.
It might be.
So that is why
Exactly.
it is important to make the entry while looking at the
Mhm.
breakout and the volumes in the intraday, and we have to wait for that. Definitely, we can't just enter right now. So
Understood, man.
let's
Understood.
wait for the breakout, and then we can decide based on the volumes. So
Okay.
these two stocks which I have been looking out for the next week. Other stocks I saw,
Okay.
there are from other stocks also. However, they are not in my major priority list. My major priority list
Mhm.
has this Rosari and Tata Motors.
Okay.
Other few stocks which I did enter, and one mistake also I'll tell you. This one stock
Okay.
which I recommended entry last week to one of my friend.
Okay.
This is JSW Steel.
Mhm.
JSW Steel on a weekly time frame has been facing this all-time high resistance since a very long
Okay.
time. This is like
Yeah, multiple
multiple,
times it has been in the same
yeah.
resistance.
But
Mm.
however, now it has again started facing the resistance and now falling down.
Okay.
Though the
This
volumes
is
have
a weekly time frame, huh?
yeah, weekly time
Yeah.
frame, though the volumes have increased considerably near the resistance, but still
Okay.
it is trying to come down. But if you look
It's
at the
not able to break out
yeah,
upside.
yeah, but there is one important point that needs to be looked at. First thing is that nearby the resistance area the volumes have started rising, the
Okay.
green volumes, and the red
Okay.
volumes are not that much. The volumes have been
Mm.
just mediocre, if you say, consider
Understood.
compared to the
Understood.
green volumes, and it is
Okay.
respecting the 20-day moving average. Now I feel
Okay.
that if it actually is trying to break out of this now, it has to
Mm.
bounce from this area.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can see a downward point to now 697 or something.
Probably again to the support level of this
Yeah,
trend
again
line.
to support level, then finally it will slowly
Mm.
start to come up. That is what I can see. But in longer term, let's say another 6 months period, I would say that it will mostly break out because it has
Understood.
already tested this resistance multiple times. It is in an
Understood.
uptrend over here. So you see, it is in a major
Mm.
uptrend. It has been
Okay.
rising continuously
Mm-hmm.
and forming this ascending triangle.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
good pattern.
Mm.
It's a good upside pattern. So
Understood.
yeah, over the next 6 months, I'm feeling that it should do pretty well. But in the
Mm.
very short run, I would say that it has to bounce from this area.
Mm.
Otherwise, we are gonna see 697 or whatever, 700 areas
Okay.
again.
Okay. Man. Okay.
So that is
Mm.
one thing. Second thing is this IRCTC, which I did a bit of a miscalculation, I would say, and here the breakout happened.
Okay.
It did this head and shoulders pattern sort of,
Okay.
and then finally it did a breakout over here in this.
Mm. Mm.
However, it failed miserably.
Okay.
If you see, it did break out of this area. It was not able to cross this another weekly resistance area, and from
Okay.
that point itself it started coming down.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it is in general a very weak stock, considering it has started facing the
Understood.
resistance. If you see in the
Understood.
weekly time frame,
Mm-hmm. Probably another reason why IRCTC is like falling on a thing is that there is an news going on saying that Adani is coming as an
yeah, but
competitor
there has
for.
a clarification regarding that news. It
Yes,
is
yes, they're saying that there is no problem for us and all. But
yeah,
people
because
might people always anticipate through the news, right?
that's true.
So
But
it
then
happens.
markets don't move based on just one news, right?
Understood.
Big guys are there to move the market. We retailers are always just gonna speculate and lose money.
Understood.
But yeah, on a technical aspect, I am seeing this resistance. This weekly resistance it has faced, and it started falling down, and it has
Okay.
also broken downside on daily time
Understood.
frame.
Understood. Understood.
It looks bit weak to me because it has been falling now.
Mm-hmm.
Though I had some confirmations on the green side that volumes have been rising, but
Okay.
technically it has broken, so we can't say much. We have to wait
Mm-hmm.
and watch. Mostly it looks like it's a breakdown, clear breakdown.
Okay, okay. Even the trend line is broken. If tomorrow days low, if yesterday's days Friday's low is broken, probably we can expect further downtime.
Yeah, that is one thing. Second thing is that
Mm.
let's say tomorrow it does a recovery. Indeed, if it
Okay,
does recovery, then we can see a bit of a positive. Otherwise, it's gonna go down.
understood. Man, understood.
Technically, it looks very weak. Now, one more stock
Understood.
which I have an entry in this. I have personal entry in this. This Jindal
Okay.
drilling.
Mm-hmm.
This Jindal drilling I entered based on certain very good parameters. If you look
Okay.
at the weekly chart here, no, or you can just look at the daily itself. Right? In this, it has done multiple breakouts. First thing is that
Okay.
this horizontal resistance breakout happened over here. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time, at the very same place, it has also broken out of this slanting resistance,
Okay.
and that too with very heavy volumes. The volumes
Okay.
have been very good, 11%, and then next day again another 7%. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, if you see, it has been just consolidating. Okay, oh no.
Okay. No, the stock is not have been moving on a. I mean, it hasn't broken out upside or downside, right? after the big green candle.
Yeah, it has just been consolidating.
Consolidating.
Though on a bit of a negative, I would not say negative, but then it has been forming red candles back to back for 3 days. However,
Understood.
there are no volumes as such. If you see
Okay.
here, the volumes have been very low. You see the red volumes.
Yeah. Only the green volume, which is had a breakout, have a huge impact. But after that, red volumes have been not that strong. People
Yeah.
are not trying to sell the stock, but at the same time, it is not giving a breakout also.
Yeah. Second point is that it did a breakdown on this. Okay, in
Okay.
this horizontal support, it did break down, but it's
Mhm.
instantly recovered from this 20-day moving average. It bounced back.
Understood.
So I see that as a good sign, because when there is a good recovery and buying forces coming from such a good 20-day moving average support, it shows
Okay.
that there is still strong hands inside the stock and they are not willing to take it down that easily.
Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
Otherwise it can just fall down on lower volumes.
Understood.
When it is bouncing from 20-day moving averages, very short term moving averages, with some
Mhm.
buying from the downside, no, it shows that still the strong hands are there and they are not willing to take it down that easily.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
that is one thing. Second thing is that this particular trend line, you see, it is basically a weekly resistance.
Okay.
It's a very long term weekly resistance. I'll show you. Here.
Oh, okay. Like before 10 years.
Yeah, almost such a very long 10 before 10 years, and it has
Okay.
broken that out now. Okay,
Understood.
it has broken that out and now it is consolidating just above that, or mostly around
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly, there is one more aspect to it. If you see the Fibonacci here,
Mm.
drawing from this area, in this area, you see what it is. That same old weekly support, weekly resistance is acting as a 23.6% retracement on Fibonacci. And
Okay.
further, this 20-day moving average support is acting as a 0.38 support on
Okay.
Fibonacci.
Understood, man.
Both the Fibonacci supports are being respected here.
Okay.
And if you go a little bit closer on an extremely shorter time frame, since the stock actually broke out with very heavy volumes,
Mm-hmm.
you see this area from it bounce back on Friday
Okay.
was a 50 percentage of retracement in Fibonacci.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it is basically trying to not break the major Fibonacci supports.
Understood. But yeah, it's still consolidating. Stock needs to give a breakup or
Yeah,
breakdown
ideally
to
speaking,
go for it.
exactly. Ideally speaking, it should try to at least move up on Monday. Otherwise, it can turn out to be a bit weak stock.
Understood, man. See, basically, all the stocks are reacting to a overall market. So probably we need a good push in the global market or our index, so that stocks get performing on a sentimental basis.
Exactly,
See,
that's what the
even though
sentiment is. What
price
sent
is very strong or something like that, you need people's mind to go bullish, right?
exactly, that
So
sentiment is very much needed for further push, especially in
understood,
stock like this.
understood.
So you are 100% right on that part. Here,
Okay.
another part, this Shiva Lake bimetal. It is on a similar lines with the Jindal drilling. It broke out with very heavy volume, 16% upside, and then consolidating.
Okay.
Yeah, if you see here, we can draw the Fibo from this support area. It is just nearby the 23% zone and
Understood.
just consolidating between that. That's a very good sign. Ideally,
Mhm.
it needs to, again, similar lines with the Jindal drilling, it has to bounce on Monday. Otherwise, it
Understood.
can also see that downside momentum.
Okay.
But only thing which actually gives me a bit of comfort in these stocks is that it has broken out of very good volumes.
Okay.
You can't fool volumes. Volumes are
Okay.
generated by big people. They are not generated by small people.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives somewhat support, comfort, I would say.
Okay. Okay, man.
Since the time it actually broke out of this that immediate red candle support, it is
Okay.
taking this 38% support over here. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty much in all the stocks, considering this breakout stocks and all, they all are
Okay.
respecting that major FIBO supports.
Understood. Understood. Mm.
That is one more thing. And then one more stock, this Kirloskar. Kirloskar, even though it is not really very attractive in a way, but it did break out of very good volumes, and then it started coming down on low volumes. Here, see, low red
Okay.
volumes have been there. So,
Okay.
and now it is nearby this support area, which is
Mm-hmm. It
previous
has to bounce back again.
yeah,
Probably retesting and bounce back.
yeah, previous resistance turned support. It is in that area, 20-day moving average, and then this trend line
Mm-hmm.
support. So these
Okay.
three things are there. It has to bounce from this area in the next coming week. Uh,
Okay.
Otherwise, it can also turn out to be a bit weak. So a lot of stocks we can see are consolidating or retracing
Understood.
after a good breakout. So these
Okay.
are the stocks. Majorly for the next week, I have Rosari and Tata Motors, and my current
Okay.
positions are there in Jindal Drilling and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, RVNL. I have position in RVNL. These two are the only stocks I am holding as of now.
Good man. Good.
So this
So
RVNL has
Arvina is a
already
tight
done
channel, right?
a very good breakout, and now it is slowly consolidating and coming in a very tight zone. Okay,
Okay.
it is
Mm.
trading in a very tight zone, just up down, and slowly it is just forming these candles. And there was a news very recently that
Mm-hmm.
RVNL had some contracts. They won some
Oh.
contracts, but they got cancelled. On that day, stock gap down over here.
Okay. Okay.
And if you see, the moment it gapped down, they put a clarification that all that news is false.
Okay.
And since then,
It started bounce back.
it started bouncing and recovered all of it.
Understood, man.
So that shows a lot of strength is sitting inside the stock. They are not just falling off by just some random rumor.
True. True. True.
That's a good sign. And already you can see it is forming this pattern, this triangle pattern.
Okay.
This pennant pattern is over here after a very good run up. So
Okay.
in near term, I'm not saying this week or next week or whatever, but in near term, I'm expecting a good breakout in this also, because the consolidation has happened. Strong hands are sitting there. You see, whenever the green volumes are forming, they are forming with
Mm-hmm.
some good volumes, and the green volumes are very strong.
Okay, man.
So
Okay. Okay.
I see somewhat positivity over here also.
Done. 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 Done.
So
So okay, fine. So for next week, probably we can try to watch out Tata Motors and what is the
Rosario,
other stock you were telling? Rosario.
yeah, Rosari, I would say,
Rosario.
these two are the
Okay.
major stocks. Apart from this, I have few more stocks
Okay.
like this Inwire and all. But then these are
Mm-hmm.
okay. These are also pretty decent.
Not a strong
They are strong. They
movement.
are very strong. But technically, pattern wise, I would say that if I have to prefer, the best two is the top two. Then I would say this Tata Motors and Rosari.
Okay, man.
These are
Sure.
also very strong. You see here this Hind wire, it broke out with very heavy volumes over here, and now it is
Okay.
also consolidating in that same pretty much the same
Zone.
kind of pattern,
Mm-hmm.
rectangle pattern.
Understood.
Here this transformers and rectifier, this is also breaking out of with very heavy volumes and now consolidating
Okay.
in a very tight zone over here. It has taken this support, the previous high as support,
Understood.
just breaking out of and just consolidating over here. We should see some breakout on this upside as a good sign. These are
Mm-hmm.
also very strong stocks, but then when you see a stock now, it is very
Mm.
important that you get 2 3 more confirmations from a stock.
True. True.
Here also it is very strong. You can see the green volumes are very much pumping in like anything. It is supporting this 20-day moving average, and it is
Okay.
consolidating in the support areas, and
Mm-hmm.
slowly just forming all the patterns over here also.
Okay. Okay.
Here
Yeah.
also it is forming this rectangle
Mm-hmm.
again over here. So it is also slowly breaking out of this patterns.
Building upside. Mm.
Every time you see it is forming this rectangle pattern, heavy breakout, then again
Mm-hmm.
rectangle pattern, heavy breakout. You see here 12 percentage
Mm-hmm.
move, then
Mm-hmm.
consolidation, then 10 percentage
Understood.
move, now again consolidation.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and you see volumes have been continuously rising. The green volumes here it was 5 million, now
Okay.
after this 7 million. So
Mm-hmm.
it is a very good sign when the stock is going up on a heavy, very heavy
Mm-hmm.
volumes now. We can
Okay, okay.
definitely look out for some good opportunities in these kind of stocks for longer term.
Understood, man.
So this is one more, and then this one thing which I saw here is this LG equipment.
Mm.
In fact, you can even keep this transformers with our top stocks.
Okay.
It is also in the lines with Tata Motors Rosari, but Tata Motors Rosari, and then I would say this transformers.
Okay. Mm.
Here it formed this head and shoulders kind of pattern on a weekly
Mm.
time frame, and
So
then
all the stocks are in like a bridge of breaking out, but like you said, we need some good emotions or something like that to come break out and give a bullish run, right?
yeah, that
So
sentiment
we
is
need to
needed.
keep a tight radar, and probably we need to wait for the confirmation to trade
Yeah,
rather than just blindly taking trades.
yeah. Here also you see, it is consolidating for a very long time now.
Okay.
After a very
Mm.
good shoot up, generally, whenever there is a very good volume breakouts and stock shoots up with very good volumes now, and after that the
Okay.
breakout, after that the consolidation happens in a very tight range, that's a very good sign, because a stock is not willing to go down as such. At the same time, it is not even
Okay.
trying to go up. It is basically removing weak
Understood.
hands over here. People are losing patience
Mm.
over here. They are feeling,
Okay.
let's say a person who bought at this point or whatever, he will feel
Mm.
like, oh my god, what if the stock breaks down, what if it is not going to go up. So it will consolidate in that time, and these guys will exit, the small guys.
Understood,
And
man.
once these
Mm.
weak hands are gone, the stock will finally make the big move,
Okay.
because
Okay.
big
Mm.
guys always look for bigger and biggest profits. They don't look for some 5%, 10%. They look for
Understood.
50%,
Understood.
100% profits.
Mm.
So yeah. So even this is forming this flag pattern over
Hello.
here. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, man. Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, so it is forming this
Mm.
flag pattern nearby the resistance area, and we have
Okay.
seen this, uh, you know, inverse head and shoulder pattern kind of in weekly time frame.
Mm. Mm.
So we need to wait and watch. It has already given very good volumes over here, shot up in
Mm.
18% in a single day,
Mm.
consolidating nearby the major resistance area. So it is also
Okay.
very good stock considering all these aspects.
Understood, man.
If you really
Mm.
want to strict it down and jot it down to just four stocks, top four stocks, I would say
Mm.
go for Rosari, Tata Motors, and then does transformers and rectifiers, LG equipment. Look out for
Okay,
these
man.
stocks for entries in the next week.